Hello and welcome in, all you O-Niners, PCHers, junior private detectives, Hearst College whatevers, abandoned siblings, and what team? Wildcats, to Life on Mars, the Veronica Mars Rewatch podcast where we go through episode by episode. I'm Brenton.
And I'm Emily.
And we're here to talk about post-game mortem, which is where the team was getting beat in the post.
Oh, did we ever look to see if there's like anything on Wallace's Hearst jersey to indicate a
What? I have not done that.
Also, yeah, were you getting major High School Musical vibes? Is that
Totally, yeah, that was 100% with when it starts off with the basketball.
Dad, I want to be able to play basketball and sing and dance.
Mm-hmm. So I literally wrote at the top of my notes before
it'd be like High School Musical gone wrong.
I know. I just literally put what team? Wildcats.
Love it.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, that'll be enough for me to remember this.
I was like, oh, what a lovely story of a father bullying his son.
Yeah, pretty much. Hey, in High School Musical, it's like, son, I was wrong. You can do anything you want to.
But also, when you, in High School Musical 2, when you get this summer job, don't forget to prioritize basketball.
Yeah, that's a weird one.
But it's a great movie.
Yes. It is a tremendous film. High School Musical 2, if you can watch it. It's on Disney+. I don't know if you've heard of it. It's pretty great. There's a run down a fairway. And there's the TikTok
dance.
song. Oh, I Don't Dance is how could I forget? I Don't Dance. Yeah, watch it. But I would say this episode was pretty damn good. And
yes.
It was I think the only episode we have where the case of the week was not concluded.
Yes, and that's why, like, when I looked at my notes, so halfway through this episode, my pen died. So half my notes are written in black and half my notes are written in purple. And this doesn't matter, except that then I was like, did I not write the end of the...
Right. What happened?
I'm like looking through them and I'm like, did I not? I just like stop writing. It's like the episode where I didn't record anything Keith did. Right. I'm very diligent. I have filled an entire notebook with these podcasts, and yet I'm like missing information left and right.
Keith not worthy, but this time, yes, no ending. An ellipses.
Yeah. ... So we'll jump in. Let's start the game.
Yeah.
Unless there's anything else you.
I did want to give a couple things real quick. The subplot and the scene. Actually, you know what? I'll wait till we get to production notes as we get to the scene. Then we'll come back to it.
Okay. So we're playing basketball.
We're playing basketball.
I didn't even do that on purpose, but then that's exactly what my brain did.
Thank you.
And at some point I'll have to make you watch High School Musical 3, but that's an addendum.
Okay.
I don't remember it being good.
All right.
But so basketball is being played. Coach is bullying son. Coach is name I don't have. It's somewhere.
Yeah. Coach Barry.
Okay. His son's name is Josh. I wrote down the son's name.
Yes. Josh is getting back screened.
What?
He's getting back screened?
What does that mean?
That like when he's not paying attention in his back, he's getting screened by the other team. So then they're able to drive off him.
Got it. It's a basketball thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just wrote that down because that was a specific gripe that the coach had with him.
Got it. I was like, I don't understand. I'm just going to ignore this word.
Yep,
Pretend it didn't
going.
even happen. So then, the team's not doing so hot. Wallace then turns to his dear friend Veronica to complain.
Post game.
Yeah, this is all post game.
She's down to the locker room.
On the court.
Come on, fellas.
And he's like, this sucks. And Veronica's like, well, at least you get to play. Like, as someone who had to like basically red shirt a quarter, which isn't a thing. He just didn't play for the start of the season. I'm
assuming he passed that class.
Yeah, I think so too.
Didn't get a check-in.
We didn't find out.
Right.
Doesn't it come back up later though?
Maybe. I can't remember. He did have a lot of tokens at Chuck E. Cheese, so I think he did pretty damn good.
Oh, he brought in that report card. But so Wallace is like, this sucks, but you're right. I did get to play, and that is cool. But I'd like to win basketball games. I'd like to be playing on a team that's winning.
Yeah, and not lose by 20 points.
As a Sacramento Kings fan, I'm like, that's a slim margin.
Hey, what are you talking about? Did you have a lead at all? Be lucky.
Was there a period of time where you thought you were going to win and then you're down by 20? Because that feels about right to me. Just a, personal drama in my life. It's trauma, if you will.
Trauma.
It's drama with a T. That's my...
Look it up, DSM.
Oh, God. The DSM-5 is...
Yep.
Being a Sacramento Kings fan is a form of trauma.
King syndrome.
No. We take mental health seriously, but, it is a little traumatic to watch.
Yeah.
But he's like, well, how are you doing with the whole Logan thing? And she's like, try not to think about it. Thanks for reminding me, asshole.
He's like, yeah, solid friend.
Then we cut to home. Veronica's at home. She comes out in the morning. There's breakfast out for her. She takes a bite and then she looks at the note her dad left her, and it says, if you ate any of this breakfast, you now owe me. I need you to send out client bills. Come to the office, basically.
Yeah. I had written, I'm like, that is a nasty looking sandwich. And then whatever the shot was, it just looked gross. And then so I had to, exactly. So I had to cross it out and put, never mind, toast.
What did you think it was?
I don't know. It just looked like a nasty sandwich. I'm like, this is a nasty sandwich.
Gonna be nasty.
It just looked gross.
Like, what qualifies a nasty sandwich?
Just didn't look put together. It looked like it had weird toppings, and I'm like, this is a fucking gross
So it looked
looking
like
sandwich.
A bread with toppings.
Yeah, just
So a toast.
yeah, but it looked like it had a bunch of shit on it, and I'm just like, this looks nasty. But different camera angles.
A place I worked at in the past sold toast, and I sold us other things too. Didn't work at
Artisanal toast.
Which is actually kind of anonymous because I think everywhere I worked besides one place sold toast.
Nice.
But and they sold like fancy toast or whatever. And one day, one of the higher ups in the company because you could get free food when we worked there, got their toast, and they were really hungry, so they got two and they put them together, and apparently they walked over to another person I worked with at the time. I wasn't there for this, sadly, but I did get the story retold to me by the person who received it, and they laughed until I cried every time. They were like, yeah, like the leader guy was like, I got these two toasts and I was so hungry I put them together so that way, like, I can eat them and have more food. And he's like, you invented a sandwich. Like, you didn't invent sandwiches.
You just didn't put anything between them.
Well, but they were like fancy toast. They had toppings.
Oh, right.
So it was like a...
No. It's two toasts stacked on top.
Yeah. I took two toasts and I put them together. And he's like, yeah, you had a sandwich. You had a sandwich. And it made me laugh every time. And then that, it was toast, honey. It was the opposite. It wasn't a sandwich.
No, it looked weird. Vindicated by toast.
Vindicated, yeah. It was just toast, just regular old plain.
Turned it around. Yeah.
It was a little dark for my taste. I like my toast a little lighter. But I come from a family where my mother likes burnt toast, so I really can't. I don't know.
I've seen the tongs.
It's weird. It's weird. So Veronica's like, shit, have to go to work. We cut over to Logan. Sad boy. Sad boy will not let housekeeping in to come clear the trays, and they are out of salt and pepper shakers. And
before that, Dick is stopped by the professor saying that, hey, your buddy Logan needs to show up or he's going to fail.
Mm-hmm. So Dick gets home and sees that the people are trying to bring in the room service, and they can't because Logan won't open the door, and he won't let them in. And then the kid who's in Veronica's class, who's Ratner. He's like, we're out of salt and pepper shakers. Like, we need to get in. So Dick is like, why did you keep sending salt and pepper shakers?
Because it's probably the little ones.
But why would you keep sending them?
Yeah, and I don't think that's how that works. But anyway, when they get in there, like, there is stuff everywhere, but it seems like mostly of his own making. It seems like he bought beer and has been drinking beer. Yeah,
there's like a couple like pans or trays and things, but it's not.
We only have 3.
So what Dick does is he goes in, he's like, hey, Logan, did you see that there's a fire on Veronica's house's side of town? So Logan runs out to the balcony, and then Dick locks him outside.
Run might be overselling it. He gently walks out onto the balcony
with a concerned look.
Yeah.
Like a deer in headlights. But why does this balcony lock from the inside? I guess they all do.
Probably. I mean, why wouldn't they?
I guess they all do, huh?
Yeah.
It just concerns
You think
me.
it would lock from the outside?
No, it just why? I guess when you're up that high, I guess it has to lock. It's just weird to be able to lock someone on a balcony, you know?
Yeah, but I think that's how all balconies are.
I guess I could lock you on our balcony.
Yes, you could.
I'm gonna go practice.
Hey, look outside.
I'm just like,
Oh, she left my favorite sweet outside on a plate.
Damn
it, got me again.
Trap. It's like Mousetrap.
Uh-huh. It's like in cartoons with the box and the stick.
There's just like a piece of cake on the patio table.
I turn around and I hear the doors locked.
So he locks him outside. Dick's like, I'm gonna go shower, and then the people come in to clean the room. Dick's done showering. But yeah, well, like you said, the room was not horrible.
No, I mean it's messy for sure.
There's like a lot of worse.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's a lot of beer bottles and shit everywhere, but it seems like mostly of like stuff he's brought to the hotel.
Yeah, or like even like, I think I saw like 3 or 4 like food trays, like not enough for me to be like, oh no. I mean, that's not good.
No,
but don't do that. My hotel room would not look like that.
But you would imagine that they would have more trays.
Yeah. But maybe he had them all in the bedroom too.
Oh, there you go. I was assuming it would be like some sort of tray statue or things that he had made. He's like stacking up all the trays.
A shrine of Veronica and trays.
Pretty much.
Oh my god, just like Hey Arnold when Helga had the Arnold in the closet.
Yeah, uh-huh.
I always didn't like how that portrayed how women had or girls had crushes because I was like, I was never
Helga
obsessed.
was too obsessive and negative.
And then he had a football head. I mean,
don't be mean. Don't join in with everybody else on this.
No, I'm just saying, like, you know, it was fun to make art of that. Like, he had a football head. Like,
yeah.
It's fun. Move it, football head. You defending Arnold? Did I hurt you?
Yes. I'm just saying, you don't talk about Arnold like that.
I was like, at all?
Cut it out.
A banned subject in our...
No, you don't talk about his head like that.
Why?
People make fun of his football head.
But it's cool. He's different.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
He's got a football head.
Yeah.
It's a fact.
It is.
I didn't say it in a mean way.
You're like, I don't know. It just sounded like, I don't know why this Helga would be interested in this kid.
No, I was saying because he has a football head. Like, of course she made art of him.
Oh.
You
doesn't make any sense.
Get off your high horse.
Just saying. Knives out.
In case you really want to get under Brenton's skin, send mean things about Hey Arnold.
Don't talk about him. Don't
you know he's
talk
not
about
real,
him.
right?
Don't fucking talk about him. Anyway.
You okay?
Yeah, I'm okay. You know, it's just like, gotta defend
But
him.
you never listened to me. I wasn't saying mean things about Arnold.
I intuited it wrong.
You did. Because you weren't listening.
I was listening.
You were intuiting.
Yes, well, I guess there you go. Your
Were
Honor.
you gonna make fun of Arnold? Is this secretly because you make fun of Arnold?
No.
Gonna lose our Nickelodeon sponsorship.
Exactly. Oh God. Hey, everybody, watch out! Stay to the end. We're gonna get slimed.
So then Dick's like, hey, Logan, I've got a hot girl coming over with her sister. She said her sister's adorable or whatever, so we can go out on the town or do what kids do.
Mm-hmm.
And Logan's like,
Mer.
blank. Just,
yeah.
He's like if Snuffy wasn't as cute.
It's like Cameron from Ferris Bueller.
I don't remember.
He's just comatose in the bed at the beginning of the movie.
Got it. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I remember that now.
Yeah. If only we had the mental break that Benjamin Horne has in Twin Peaks. Where he thinks he's Robert E. Lee.
Oh, yes.
Trying to win the Civil War. Yeah.
Yes. We don't get that in the show, though.
No, I mean season 2 is spotty, but I really like that. Anyways,
but so then Veronica walks into the Mars Investigations office and she's like ranting about contract law to her father because he left that deal out for the toast. And there's a client in his office. It's the coach's family. Josh, post game, went to go meet up with his dad to chat after the game at this like cliffside spot where his dad always went to like think.
Yeah. Down on Pacific Coast Highway along the water.
And his dad had left his ring in his locker, so he thought it was a peace offering to like go find him and talk to him. And when he got to the cliffs, he saw that his dad was dead.
Mm-hmm.
And he didn't want he went home because he was in shock, and he didn't have self-service there. And so then he went home to tell his mom, and his mom was like, he showered because he had blood all over him, and they didn't want the little brother who is autistic to see him because they thought it would upset him, which
totally.
So he showered, and then by the time he got there, the police were there because someone else had seen the body and called it in. And so Sheriff Lamb thinks it's him. Yeah. Which, I mean, I think that's pretty sus.
Yeah, totally. I mean, that's definitely cause for thinking someone to be murder.
And then Keith's like, who do you think would kill him? And the mom's like, I don't know, nobody. And then he's like, Neil Stoltz. He's Hurt's primary benefactor.
No, Mrs. Coach blames the PCHers.
Oh, yeah. She blames the PCHers.
Yeah.
She's a white woman who is fragile and afraid of people who are not white.
Gang members, quote unquote.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, the PCHers, they are a gang.
They're a motorcycle coalition.
We call them that. They call themselves a gang.
That's true. But yeah, she just says gang members.
So then we go back to.
But yes, just to also your point, Schultz is also listed in the suspects because he never liked the coach
because they were losing.
Exactly. Well, we get to that later, but yeah.
So then we go back to Logan and Dick. Dick's cleaning the apartment because he's like, man, I want it to look nice for these girls. And the girl shows up with her sister.
He also makes a cogent point that it's only tolerable because Logan's rich. And I'm like, hey, you're onto something.
Yeah, it's only okay that he's messy because he's rich.
Yep.
He's not usually messy, though. Girl shows up, and she has her sister with her. Her sister is a 11-year-old. Mm-hmm. It is a child.
Yep. I first wrote, girl shows up with daughter. And it's like, oh, nope, they're sisters.
Sister. I remember the first time we watched this episode, and I was like, oh no, is this going to become some sort of like weird, uncomfortable, like I was very trepidatious
of how this was going to play out.
I remembered when we rewatched it this time, I was like, oh, like I remember this actually being fun.
Yeah.
I mean, fun for how fucked up it is.
Right. For her situation. Yeah. But the situation of like her and Logan ends up being fun. I thought watching this again, I'm like, I can't remember how I feel about this in terms of like, is she that annoying kid that's like super precocious and they just make her be really, really over the top and like throwing tantrum sort of stuff. But
yeah. And give Logan a taste of his own medicine.
Yeah, but she's really much more of just like a young adult and like bust his chops.
I feel like this was how I behaved at 11.
Okay, there you go.
Like I was just like, no, we're gonna do the things, and haha, I made the adult jokes.
So yeah, you were like Heather Button,
except she's significantly more optimistic about love than I was at that time.
Yeah, she's all in on it. Mm-hmm. But she was played by Juliet Goglia, who wowed everybody on the set, but has done some things. Is a musician. Do you remember who Sierra was on That's So Raven? It was only 2 episodes.
No.
And has done lots of other one-off TV stuff. But yeah.
Interesting.
Really impressed people on this show.
Yeah, I love it. So Dick and the girl are going to go to the beach to go to a beach party. And she's like, can't bring the child, so I'm gonna leave here with you, Logan. And Logan's like, whatever.
Yeah,
So
cool.
he's like,
Leave her with like strange dude.
yeah, he's like, here's the remote for the TV, and I'll be hiding in my room.
Mm-hmm. I'll be
night.
listening to Simon and Garfunkel on repeat in my room.
Exactly. Sad boy, sad.
Mm-hmm.
Keith goes to visit Mr. Stoltz. He is golfing in his office. He is not taking meetings because he is practicing
Did you
his
say golfing?
His golf. And he's like, no, I didn't want the coach dead. I just wanted him not in his job. But like him being dead is him not in the job.
Yeah. If you remember, Mr. Stoltz was the man that approached the dean when the frat got kicked off campus, all threatening like with his cigar, and was like, I want this frat back.
Mr. Stoltz.
Mm-hmm.
So we're like, could have killed him, probably didn't. He's like, well, I have an alibi. I was somewhere. And so Keith's
He was on his plane.
Yeah.
Air Stoltz.
He was flying somewhere. So Keith is like, well, I'm going to check the refuel of whenever the plane was, the flight logs and shit.
Because it landing down, coming back to Neptune.
In the morning, the little girl is still in Logan's living room. And he's like, excuse me, why are you here? Dick calls and he's like, I'm in Vegas. And Logan's like, get your ass home. And he's like, nope, you slept with Madison Sinclair, so you got to babysit for us. And I'm like, what a weird negotiating tactic, but I know.
Hey, I know something to shut you up.
So, then, Logan's like, cool, I guess. Veronica goes up to Weevil. She's like, hey, I need you to set me up with a chat with whoever's leading your former bicycle coalition.
Bicycle, yes, motor bicycle.
They're waiting at the shipyard or whatever, and they're running late, and Weevil's like, I don't know what to say. Gang kids are usually pretty punctual. And Veronica's like, I kind of, if they don't show up, they probably did it. But if they do show up, it's not good.
Yeah. I'm assuming this is the same shipyard where the PCHers got beat up last season by the Fitzpatricks.
I'm sure. Yeah. You only have one shipyard.
Exactly. Import, export. Fitzpatricks are like 2 rows over.
Arturo is the new Weevil, and he shows up and he's going to talk to Veronica, and he's
this
like,
is when we find out Weevil is like a past title. He's the new Weevil, yeah.
You're so dumb.
Fine.
I was like, that's not accurate.
Looking at me.
I'm gonna go on my Weevil tirade like you went on your Hey Arnold tirade.
I see.
I protect Weevil and his motorcycle bicycle coalition. Arturo's like, I know her, and Veronica's like, yeah, I caught him mugging the pizza boys last year. She's like, did you kill the coach? And he's like, no, I didn't kill the coach. He has a shitty car. Who would kill him for his car when he has a shitty car? I'm like,
yep, fair point.
Yeah. So we're like, okay, it wasn't the PCH. And he's like, but if you could find out, that'd be great. Cause it's really, I was going to say harshing my mellow. And I know for sure that was
them. Yeah.
That was not.
We're just trying to catch tasty waves.
No one says harshing my mellow.
Yeah. They also mentioned that they don't need to use violence to get cars.
Yeah.
Usually if they just like ride up, like
people just hand over their keys.
Yep. I'm like, yeah, that's pretty good.
Then we go back to the hotel, the Neptune Grand. The child, Heather, she walks in. She's like, are you sick?
Are you upset?
And he's like, I'm just sad. But he doesn't say that. And then she's like, can you show me how to hook up your Gamecube?
Yeah, the real deal.
And I'm like, yes, so don't take a breath between those two requests. Just keep going.
He's got the silver Gamecube. It's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Although, looking back on it, I had a black Gamecube. Probably the least exciting of all the colors. I feel like a purple or an orange.
They were purple and orange?
Those were like the base colors. The base color of the Gamecube was purple.
What?
Yeah, the one I got.
Oh yeah, it was purple. I remember that.
Yeah.
Orange?
Yeah, orange. Like a bright orange. And then the platinum also came later as well. But yeah, no, GameCube colors. They used to make consoles that looked really cool. But now we don't get those anymore. Well, I guess like at the time it was
Oh
the only one that looked
yeah. I
really
remember
cool.
the purple. I didn't remember the orange.
More consoles should come with handles. The Switch should have a handle, honestly, that you could just like pop out.
Hey, they're pretty cheap online.
Get a GameCube?
Yeah.
Hell yeah, let's do it. We'll play Double Dash because you can't play it anywhere else. Double Dash is awesome. Love Double Dash.
Most of them range from like $120 to $150.
Oh, there you go. Get us a orange GameCube. I love the GameCube.
It's spice orange.
Spice orange. See?
Yeah.
Good shit.
Interesting. Anyway, yeah, so then they're playing Mario Kart. And she's like, "Are you sad about a girl?"
Yeah, that's what like I wrote down. Heather figures out Logan's whole deal pretty damn quick.
Men are transparent.
Yeah.
And then she was like, "Also, do you have any extra small girls' clothes? Because like I'm beginning to smell like you." Also, while they're playing, they're like, trash talking a little. It's fun. But he's like, "Oh, like if you're not doing that great as Princess Peach or whatever," and then she's not playing as Peach. She's playing as
nobody's playing as Peach on that screen.
Is it Daisy, the one with the yellow dress?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. And I'm just like, you're not even Peach.
Yeah, you're not even doing it right.
I know Princess Peach.
How dare you talk down on her?
Yeah, that's my queen, bitch.
Mm-hmm. Smack you with an umbrella.
Veronica, we cut back to her, and she's like, "Hey, Josh, can you show me where you found your dad?" And he's
hey, I have a great idea.
You want to go on a romantic ride in my car?
Let's go to the beach. Turn out.
He's like, "Yeah," and she's like, "How was your relationship with your dad?" And he's like, "He was my best friend, my worst enemy." And we're like, "That's complicated." Then we cut over to, we have two scenes running simultaneously, kind of like back and forth.
Dun 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 dun.
We cut over to the sheriff's department. I was trying to remember sheriff, could not.
Damn. Okay, so
I was like, I couldn't even think
not
of
a cop. Yeah.
There's nothing. Like, who are the people with guns?
Yeah. Boys in blue, except they're not in blue; they're in tan.
Yeah, it's just confusing. And a basketball player on the team, Mason. He's like, I saw the coach arguing with Josh on the cliff before, like after the game, and the sheriff is like,
Yeah, so he was driving down the PCH, saw them arguing, and got a look at both of them. Saw both of their faces.
Yes, which doesn't really make any sense.
Exactly. Veronica grills him about this a little later.
And then Josh and Veronica are looking around, and Veronica's like, it looks like a car like went over here or like came to the edge here on the lookout. So like, interesting. They go back to the house so Veronica can drop Josh off and they can mull over her findings. And Lamb is there, and he arrests Josh for the murder of his father. We cut back to Logan and the child, Heather.
And she has his laptop and goes, "Is this her?" And it's just a picture of her as his desktop background. It's like, what gave it away?
I know at this point in our lives you would not leave me, but I'd like to think that if we broke up,
I'd put you at the desktop.
I mean, I am your phone background.
Mm-hmm.
Would you just leave it?
No, I just thought it was hilarious. It was less that he has her as his background and more she's like, "Is this her?"
Yep, look, there she is. How can she find a photo of her? Couldn't just have a photograph around.
No. He's a boy. He doesn't get things printed.
But he's rich, so people give him things printed.
You think Veronica would give him something? That'd be the only person in his life that would give him a photo. Everybody else hates Veronica.
True.
And he does not have a lot of friends.
No. Logan gets a call. It's Dick. He's like, "Hey, we're not coming back today. We got married. So like, we'll see you when we see you. We'll come back tomorrow." And then Heather's like, "Who is that on the phone?" And he's like, "Your brother-in-law."
Yep, very good.
Then I think they talk about ice cream or getting ice cream or something fun like that.
Yeah, her favorite ice cream is in Neptune.
So then we cut over to the jail. Veronica's like, "Hey, they found your dad's car off the cliff, Josh."
Yeah, Veronica is visiting Josh. Josh is in lockup.
Yes, because he's arrested. And he's like, I think it was Mason. Mason has a gun. I've seen it, blah, blah, blah. And Veronica's like, interesting. She's like, do you need anything? And he's like, yeah, like, if you could bring some books and some cookies, preferably peanut butter. And she's like, I'll see what I can do.
Mm-hmm. And the coach's car was found off the cliff.
Yeah, I said that. I said she told
did
Josh that his dad's car was found off the cliff.
Shit.
Move it, football head.
Deserved.
No, I would never pick on Arnold like that.
Yes.
But my statue of you is losing a piece of gum tonight in the closet. Like, who wrote that character? That makes me so angry. Girls everywhere were underrepresented left and right.
Mm-hmm.
And Arnold had such a cool bedroom where he could have grown a lot of houseplants.
Oh, yeah. The skylight.
Yep. So, anyway, back to the show we watched recently. So Keith is finding out if anyone refueled the Stoltz plane. And then Mindy O'Dell comes in and he's like, I want off your case. And she's like, no. And he's like, you left the hotel. I found a call to Landry. Like I found eggshell on your windshield. Like there's too many things and I don't want to, I just need to get out. This is not good. I don't think anything good happened here.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, no. The call is because I went downstairs to get toothpaste. Because we were out of toothpaste upstairs. And I called to find out what kind he used. And I was like, what question is that?
Hey, people like
cinnamon
their
or
toothpaste,
spearmint?
Right. Are you a whitening or
I guess this is
total
a fancy
protection?
hotel, so they probably have like different kinds.
Yeah, probably. I mean, well, they probably just have like Colgate and Crest.
Oh, you were thinking brands?
Yeah.
I'm thinking like flavors.
Mm-hmm. They're probably like different kinds. It's like, this is the Crest Total Whitening, and then this is like Colgate Teeth Protection.
As a kid, I always liked the idea of cinnamon toothpaste, but I never liked it in application.
Yeah.
I also had
can't imagine
orange
it's good.
toothpaste at one point. Didn't like that.
Yeah. I don't know
We'll
about
stick
that
to the
one.
mint in this house.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
So she's like, I can't explain the eggshell, but I can like explain the toothpaste. So they call Landry, and he's like, she called me at 2 a.m. to find out what kind of toothpaste I used. And he's like, but you shouldn't be doing this case anyway, Keith, because he committed suicide.
Yeah, you're just taking her money.
And I'm like, that's suspicious.
Mm-hmm.
But I believe Landry is the red herring.
Yes. It's the red herring.
Exactly. Maybe when we finish this show, that should be our next rewatch. We'll watch the old Scooby-Doo.
Pup named Scooby-Doo.
Exactly. Fun one. Scooby in his cool doghouse.
Yeah.
So then we go back to our Heather friend, our little friend, and she's like, you know what? Like, if you're so sad, you should just apologize better.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, yeah, you should apologize better.
And he gets very defensive about his apology.
And he's like, well,
Poured my heart out to her.
yeah.
Too bad she deleted it.
And
which is like slightly infuriating, as it was when it happened. That it's just like still setting up that like, oh,
it's a miscommunication instead of her making an empowered choice to not be around him.
Exactly.
Then Keith goes to the hotel. He wants to find out about Landry and the car, all the things. And the guy at the hotel is like, oh, yeah, sorry, we can pull the logs, but we can't pull any footage.
Yeah, because it's been too long since they were there. It's already been wiped.
Exactly. Veronica's going to talk to Mason because she's like, suspicious. Mason's like, I saw Josh and his dad on the coastal lookout thing. And Veronica's like, well, Josh suggested that you would be angry about not starting. And he's like, no, like, why would I do anything? And she's like, also, how did you see both of them if you drove by? And he's like, oh, I drove back by. I saw both their faces. Like, I circled back or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, also, where do you keep your gun? And he's like, grr, gotta go.
Yeah. Like, what
and
the
I'm
fuck?
like, do you have it illegally?
Probably.
Why?
He's probably not supposed to have one on campus.
Oh, that's yeah. Okay, on campus, no, but I meant like ownership.
Oh. Yeah, I don't know about that one, but yeah. I mean, presumably he lives in the dorms.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
Mason's like, also, I was with my girlfriend the night of the murder, so I have an alibi.
Which is corroborated by said girlfriend.
Yes. Mindy convinced Keith to not drop the case, and he's like, but someone still took the Volvo out in the middle of the night, and she's like, I don't know.
Yeah, this is a discussion between Veronica and Keith while she's making cookies for Josh.
Yes, peanut butter cookies.
Mm-hmm. So then Veronica's like, "Hey, let me help out with this one."
Yeah, I can go talk to my favorite concierge.
Our favorite concierge. I like her.
She reminds me of Billy Lord. She looks to me a lot like Billy Lord.
Yeah,
Carrie Fisher's daughter.
I'd say it's similar. For sure.
So she's like, hey, can you tell me what movie they watched? You remember my little secret friend we were looking into? And she's like, I can tell you they started the pay-per-view movie at 2:02 a.m. and that they watched a movie that I don't remember.
Kiss Kiss Bang Bang.
Thank you.
You've watched that movie if you remember it. Robert Downey Jr., Val Kilmer.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I like that movie.
I was like, gonna need some details.
Yep. But yeah.
Titles are completely lost on me.
Robert Downey Jr. is a robber who ends up in an audition. Okay.
Yeah. I recall.
Mm-hmm.
We find out too that then Heather was upstairs. She called the radio to put on a song. You Can Have What's Left of Me. I think it's like a Nick Lachey song.
Yeah, very good.
Very dramatic, very moody, very of the time. And she's like, I requested this song to be on the radio so you could apologize to Veronica this way.
Mm-hmm. And then she gets a shout out on the radio of like, hey, Logan feels really sorry.
Mm-hmm. Veronica is downstairs when she hears this. She turns off the radio. She finds Jeff Ratner.
Very, very good beat here. They like let her like listen in the song, and like it looks like she's being wistful, and then like
it's like her just immediately turning it off. And it's like, oh, God.
It's fantastic. Yeah, they let it hold just long enough.
Mm-hmm. She's like, hey, Jeff Ratner, we need to talk.
Ratner.
And he's like, yeah, I heard two men yelling in the room. Like there were people fighting, and so I didn't bring the food, and then I came back later and I heard the fighting had stopped. And she's like, well, when did the woman leave or whatever? And he's like, no, I heard two men yelling.
She's like, oh.
Ooh.
What the fuck is this?
Mm-hmm.
Who is this third man? Second man. Third person.
Heather delivers the line to Logan that giving up on love is just stupid.
Mm-hmm.
And then she's like, you know what? I'm getting a little antsy. Logan, take me to the gym.
Yep. Hey, I've been there.
Literally me as 11-year-old.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
I think I just need to go like do a little workout. Like,
yeah, they have a gym here.
Yeah, I'd like to go do something. Logan in his bathrobe, her and Veronica's clothes. They go to the elevator. Elevator opens and Veronica enters with Jeff Ratner.
Mm-hmm.
Jeff's like, ooh, trouble in paradise. This looks awkward.
Yeah. This is a very well done scene of awkwardness and her being Nancy. They actually started with this scene and worked backwards for the plot of the episode.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That's cute.
So they had an idea for this, and they're like, okay, how do we work this? Also, so apparently Jason Doring had called Rob Thomas before this episode and was like being like, what's up with this Logan moping shit? In other words, which, hey, fair question. What is up with all this Logan moping shit? If you're not going to do jack with it. And Rob Thomas reassured him that it was for this scene, like setting up for this subplot.
Cute. Heather is like, is this her? Is this her? And Veronica's like, is that my shirt? Just one of those beautifully wonderful awkward scenes where it's just like Veronica's like, what the fuck? And
Heather doesn't give two shits. It's just
11.
like, hey, he's sorry.
Yeah.
Take him back.
This child is the best. I love her.
Mm-hmm.
After they get off, Logan then yells at Heather because, how dare she?
Yeah, because she's right.
Yeah, because she's right, and how dare she call him out on his feelings?
Exactly.
And
you embarrassed me in that elevator.
But he doesn't say that. He says you don't understand love.
Mm-mm. Yeah, he goes for the worst thing to yell at her about.
Yeah, he wants to make her
You don't
dumb
understand
and
shit.
small.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, children are usually smarter than all of us. Not unfortunately. Fortunately for them. Unfortunately for them, actually.
Damn,
they're
I
stuck
can't
with us.
check kids like Logan does.
No.
They always get me and make me feel bad.
Then Veronica is in her class where she learns about being a detective with Landry.
Criminology.
Landry is like, nope, Detective 101. Detectivo.
I'm in Private Dick 102.
Oh no, I think that's a different class.
It's my ROTC.
Oh.
Private Richard, what are you talking about?
Oh God, oh no. So he's like, Veronica, you've made it to the second round of the FBI internship. Cyrus wrote this really great letter for you. Here's your application.
Yeah, very sweet.
Veronica brings it home. She shows it to Keith, and the Cyrus letter was very sweet. And Veronica is like, yes, I need to do right by putting his killer behind bars.
Yeah, and then they put it up on the fridge.
Dick calls Logan. He's like, we'll be home in a couple hours. Do you know a good attorney? We need to get divorced. Logan's like, why is this child so bubbly? Has she been like that the whole time? And he's like, she's been like that since our dad walked out. The sister tells
talking
him
to
this.
Mrs. Dick, formerly Mrs. Casablancas, I should say.
She's like, just make sure she takes her Prozac or she'll drive you up a wall.
Yep. And then Logan's like, oh, this child that was left behind here could also have a really shitty past.
It's almost like maybe like the fact that her parents let the sister take her and her be missing for 3 days. Like that wasn't a concern to them.
No, it's just a burden on him. So he learns to get outside himself.
So then he's like, okay, child, let's go get ice cream.
And joins the Big Brother program. It's really great.
It's very weird and very sweet. Mindy and Keith talk. Keith is like, Mindy, your Volvo was out 30 minutes before the murder and 30 minutes after. So where were you? We don't have an answer on that.
Tear gates are about the movie they watched.
She didn't really know it, but we know Landry watched it because he knew it when Veronica mentioned it in passing.
Yeah.
Logan and the child come back.
Real quick, she yells, "You're off the case," and he's like, "You can't take me off the case."
Oh yeah. He's like, I'm gonna figure this out now because I liked your husband. He grew on me. I like him better now that he's dead.
He was a weird dude.
I enjoyed him. So then, Logan comes back with the ice cream. He's now friends with a small child who he's like, yeah, we can play Mario Kart online together. And she's like, are you flirting with me? And then she's like, I'm just kidding. And you're like, that's just a little scary. Great delivery by the kid. Horrible writing in the writer's room.
Pretty much. Logan Eccles, are you flirting with me?
Veronica then drops off books for Josh, and in one of the books, there's a little cutout with the cookies.
Yep, ruins a perfectly good copy of The Count of Monte Cristo.
Have you read The Count of Monte Cristo?
No, I haven't.
I was going to say, it's fine.
Saw the movie. It's pretty
As
good.
someone who majored in English, I can say we can let that one go. I'd be more offended if she could open an Anna Karenina.
Right, yeah. It's a fun book.
You didn't read it.
The story, I should say. Fun movie. I got confused. Where am I? The Count of who?
It's like, but you didn't read it.
It's a great cereal.
Oh no, I gotta go. Josh eats his peanut butter cookies that Veronica snuck him, and the cellmate above him is kind of like looking down, like, I want a cookie.
Give me a cookie. Yeah.
Veronica's sitting in criminology class, and Sheriff Lamb comes up.
But we also get a shot of Logan arriving back at school. Just wanted to say. So we get a shot of Logan being like, hey, I'm well adjusted now.
Well-adjusted Logan. That's what we always
exactly.
say.
Yep, and he's going to be just as fun as Duncan was during his well-adjusted Duncan days.
Oh, God. God, that was the worst. I still think this is better than season 2.
But, that's debatable.
Then Veronica is in class in criminology, and she gets arrested by Sheriff Lamb for the aiding and abetting of the escape of Josh because he ate the peanut butter cookies and then somehow got out of jail. We'll find out more about that next week. But I think we can put 2 and 2 together.
I think we can too. So you're saying there's a key in the cookies and it was a skeleton key to get him out. Or do you think it was a pick that he could pick through the wall, slowly dig a hole, it's behind the poster?
I don't know. I can't eat peanut butter cookies. Are they gross? I'm definitely allergic.
I've never liked peanut butter cookies. But that's me. Yeah, I think it's a very fun episode. I think when we're talking about Logan being mopey and shit, that of course he's upset about Veronica, but we also miss another opportunity to talk about that maybe he's just had a really fucking hard time for the past 2 years.
He's got a hard life.
Yeah, exactly. And that it's it's good that Curie, he's got a new friend. He's getting outside himself. He can understand that, like, care about other people.
It's important to learn empathy from children because you didn't learn it from your
right.
parents.
Where the fuck else is he going to learn it? Not from Dick. Yeah, there's just like no mention of any of the shit that like brought him into having a really tough relationship with Veronica throughout this entire season, which is a big missed opportunity in my book, especially as we probably start segueing back into like Logan figuring out how to live his life while not dating Veronica, and it's probably going to revolve around when we get back together with her. And less about like doing serious introspection because she solves the issue. So yeah, it's just funny that there's no talk of anything that he's been through this season. Women aren't your
therapist, men.
Yeah, there you go. And even little ones.
Exactly.
Even though she tells it like it is.
Yeah.
But she's fun.
I like this character.
But yeah, as she goes off to live her own life and play Mario Kart with Logan every now and then. I never played GameCube online, but that sounds like a good time.
It sounds real glitchy if you ask me.
Probably. It was, I think you had to get this adapter thing that would like bolt onto the bottom, and then you had to like plug into like a wired Ethernet. I think it had like Phantasy Star Online. Can't remember.
Oh.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. We didn't have a GameCube. We skipped that one.
Yeah, I didn't play anything on the internet on it. Nothing, not cool like that.
Well, should we play?
Yeah.
Well, when I'm not insulting Arnold from Hey Arnold, you can find me over on our other podcast. But really, though, it's a podcast where we talk about shit, whatever we feel like talking about for the week. We teach you things. We learn things.
Yeah. I thought of something today about it, and I forgot to tell you. Way to describe it.
First impressions. Are you guys ready for my reactions?
Exactly. We'll see what happens. But it's just it's a podcast where we want to learn things. We find things we want to learn about. We learn about it and then talk about it.
Yep, that's an accurate description.
Yeah, just anything we're kind of curious about and want to learn more.
We learn shit and then we regurgitate it.
Exactly.
We try not to plagiarize. Cite
We're
your
not
sources.
Writing stories.
Do we use AP or MLA? It doesn't matter.
We cite our sources, yeah.
We do that. That goes up every Wednesday on whatever platform you're currently listening to this podcast on. You can also find me on my website, but really though is spelled THO. I am a life and career coach. I offer one-on-one sessions. I offer monthly memberships, and I offer free discovery calls if you want to like chat and get to know me, and we can see if we can get your shit together. Shit together. Yeah. Just like I'll get my sentences together. And I post free coaching content over on my blog over there and on my YouTube, which is also But Really Though. Or you can follow me on Instagram, which is at BTRLYTHO.
You can find this podcast on Twitter and Facebook at Mars Rewatch. You can also send us an email at marsrewatch@gmail.com. Then you can also find us doing our Let's Play of Mutant Year Zero over on my YouTube channel. That is Burger Discourse. Find further writings from me at burgerdiscourse.com. And you can also find me on Twitter at Pyle Breton. That's PYLEBRENTON.
All right. Stay toasted, marshmallows.